Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm David. We are talking about The Amazing Race 32 with a special guest today.
Oh my gosh, it's time for The Amazing Race! But first, if you're new to this channel, please click subscribe and give this video a thumbs up.
And if you want to support us on Patreon, you can find that link in the description.
You guys,
Sarah,
it's time.
it is.
We've got a new season of Amazing Race, and we have a friend visiting us for this.
I know,
this
an actual friend. I mean, he's a friend of the show. You know,
might not think of us as friends. You think of him as friends.
No, he found us back when we were like small potatoes. You know, we were doing like in the dozens of views per video, and he found us and invited us to the Amazing Race finale party of his season. It was, I mean, he just was supportive when we were not even really a thing, and we're so happy to have him here today. Yeah.
That's right, you guys. Everyone get excited for Justin.
Hey, how you guys doing? What happened to Are You Paying Attention?
Oh, you remember that. That's what this used to be.
That's how long it's been.
Oh, my God. You guys are awesome. You guys have such a positive vibe, such a great energy out of you guys, and that's something you don't get a lot of when it comes to people talking about reality shows.
The internet in general? Yeah.
Yeah,
the
internet in general, yes.
Especially
we like to laugh here and have a good time.
Yes.
That's right. Justin, welcome. How are you? How have you been
I am
these millions of years?
Fantastic. I mean, absolutely incredible. I can't complain. I mean, life has been good. You know, since the race, we got married. We had a baby. He's 22 months old. Diana's currently pregnant with our second son coming in February.
Amazing.
But yeah, I can't complain at all. I've been enjoying the little things in life. There's still, you know, I still have some PTSD whenever I watch The Amazing Race, to be honest.
Sure. I bet.
I've never watched my season back, even though I've watched every other season 3 times.
Oh, interesting.
I watched it live, obviously.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah, you were there. Yeah.
I haven't rewatched it since.
Yeah, that's super interesting. Well, David was looking up your stats. So David,
I'm sure everyone watching knows, but I just want to remind everyone.
No, I think we should remind them.
But we need to remind you finished second your season of The Amazing Race, season 27.
Yeah.
But y'all had 7 first place finishes, 7 legs of the race.
Yes.
You never finished outside the top 3 except for the first leg of the race.
You know, that was beautiful.
And the episode titles which come from, you know, things people say on the show, 6 of them, half of the season, were things you said. You were like the architect of that whole season.
I currently hold the record for most quoted Amazing Racer of all time.
There you go.
And we have the record for most consecutive wins, leg wins. And to be honest with you, I know it may sound like bragging or not, but we legit could have won every leg of the race. There was just one little twist every single, like just a smidge, like and the PTSD for me is like, if I said 4 words, keep the meter running. 4 words cost me $1 million. We would have won by 45 minutes. Like it wasn't even, it wouldn't have even been close. We fell behind by an hour.
That was rough. That was hard.
Yeah. And anytime I watch the finale now, or anybody cross the race, anybody cross the finish line, I cry. I can't stop it. It's just, it means so much to me, and it brings me back to that moment. It instantly brings me back there, and all the emotions flood. But that's cool. It's healthy for me. It's healthy. I used to bottle up all my emotions, and that wasn't healthy. So I let them out.
Yeah. True. No, I mean, David and I, we were fans of you the whole season because you guys were amazing and fun. But yeah, we assumed you were going to win.
Yeah.
And watching that finale was tough. And you know, it's those moments where you're like, oh my God, are they ever going to like let it go? Are they ever going to be able to work through that? Because it was just like one little thing.
Yeah. Like, you know, you're in New York, you get $150 to start the leg, and the whole ride, which they didn't show, the cab ride, I was like, how much for the rest of the day? How much to just hold you guys for the rest of the day? Just let me know, let me know. We got to the island, and he was like, $100. I'm like, cool, $100 to hold you for the rest of the day. He's like, no, just to wait here. And I'm like, what? That would leave me with $50 in New York with at least 2 more tasks to do. I was like, there's no way.
Yeah.
So my emotions came over and I just told him to leave. Even though we were on an island and I knew there was no way we're getting a cab on that island, it blanked for that 1 second. And all I had to say is keep the meter running. And he couldn't leave according to law, like according to the laws of New York. They weren't allowed to leave. That. Technically, yeah, which kind of stinks because Logan and Chris's cab driver left, which is against the law in New York. Like we could literally sue them.
Wow.
But anyway,
that's just that's how the race goes.
Yeah,
you know, you get wrong directions, your cab leaves. Like, I mean, it's little things like that, and all of a sudden, your entire race is different.
Kelsey and Joey, I mean, you feel bad for them. I felt bad for them. Literally, like, it sounds stupid, but the leg that we came in fourth and got third in China.
Third, yeah.
And the cheerleaders got eliminated. Like, if it was us and Kelsey and Joey going for the finish line, Diana and I both agreed that we would let Kelsey and Joey get a win because we genuinely thought that there was no way that nobody was going to beat us. We didn't think that anybody could beat us. That's the mentality we had, and that's why we did so well. It wasn't being braggadocious. It wasn't being. It was just the mentality that winners have. Like when LeBron James goes into the finals, he goes into the finals saying, "I'm the best player that's ever lived. I'm going to win this title," and that's why he's won so many titles.
Yeah. Now I'm curious because you guys dominated your season, obviously, and you're a super fan of the show before you were on it. That's kind of what you guys' angle was as, cast members. What kind of things did you do to prepare? We've been watching these new cast members, and then they're talking about their preparation. What did you guys do to get ready to go on the race?
All right. So for those of you who don't know, I watched every season of The Amazing Race back 3 times. I watched it back once to watch the winners and why all of the winners won. I watched it back a second time, and like I took notes throughout every season, every episode. I watched it back again to see why every team lost, why teams got eliminated, like what were the mistakes they made. And then I watched it like the third time again, just to make sure that I didn't miss anything. What should I practice? What should I be doing? What are consistent throughout every season? What things should I be doing to prepare? So I went to I was in Phoenix at the time. I went to the Phoenix Fire Department and I took like a ropes and rappelling class with them because there's always harnesses. You're always going to have a harness, and every season has a harness. You have to be comfortable with it. You have to be comfortable with all of the things with a harness. So rappelling, climbing, and I did firefighter training, which it's crazy that the finale had the New York City firefighter training. So I went through most of that stuff except for the actual building fire thing. So I went through that stuff. Obviously we trained, we exercised. Everybody does that. Let's see. We went rock climbing, which again, when I came back to Philadelphia, Diana didn't do the firefighter course with me. So I'm like, you got to get comfortable in a harness. You got to be able to lean back and go. Make this every second counts with these things. So we did rock climbing where I made her go to the top. She's scared of heights, so I made her go to the top and fall. And I'm like, just let go. See what happens when you let go. Because when you let go, you have somebody holding you. You have to true. So I'm like, anytime that you're in a race and you're harnessed up, I know you're scared, but nothing's going to happen to you. This is a multi-million-dollar show with the safest as safe can be. You have to be just letting go. So she trusted me. She let go, and I'm like, "Look, you fell a foot, and they caught you. That's the worst that's going to happen to you on The Amazing Race." Like, so I kind of, get those the mentality of, for her, fear of heights was her thing. She's still scared of heights, but she pushed through it because she trusted in me and a partner, and trusted in The Amazing Race. So those type of things that we did. Obviously, we would do the simple little tasks, like to try to. The biggest thing that I think separated us from other teams is the wording of the clues. And that's something that me and Diana went over with a lot. So the way that the clues are worded, anything that's bold, anything that's got quotation marks has a second meaning. You need to understand that. You need to grab that. For instance, when we were in Argentina, it said head to the Cathedral of Polo, bold. So Cathedral of Polo, a lot of teams went to a cab and said, take me to the Cathedral of Polo, or take me to a church, the biggest church in town. Well, Cathedral of Polo, for me, it's like, okay, that's a nickname. We did our research on the plane. Take me to the biggest polo field. That's why we got ahead of the team ahead of us.
Oh my gosh.
It's the little things like that that make all of the difference in The Amazing Race. We tried to study a little bit of the languages, but I mean, languages are tough. But there's a lot of things that we did.
That's interesting to know, because I always wondered why, when you read a clue, like how some people are like, it could mean this, and some people are like, this is the word it means. So I didn't, obviously we don't know what the clues actually look like.
They're usually bold or italicized, quotation marks, or something that separates like something on the clue that gives you that like, oh,
sure.
Think ahead.
It's like a little wink to you guys, like Cathedral of Polo.
Cathedral of Polo. I also took Diana to train stations to get her comfortable in New York City, to go into a train station, to be comfortable running to a train station, to know which ways north and south or whatever, like those simple things, learning how to read a compass. Of course, we took, we tried to rent a manual car. You can't do that nowadays. You can't rent a manual car. You have to find a friend that has a manual car. So I gave her driving lessons. I knew how to drive a stick shift. I used to have a stick shift car because I'm old. And Diana, she was awesome with it. So we definitely did some stick shift manual driving, and I borrowed my friend's car for a week, and she had to go to work with it. She had to go back. She got really comfortable with it. Unfortunately, our season was one of the only seasons that didn't have a self-drive. Thanks, season 6.
So interesting. I learned how to drive when I was 18 on manual, so I feel like I'm good to go. I should just.
Everybody should learn on a manual, because if you could drive a manual, you could drive anything.
Yeah, it's true. Now, how much time? I'm curious, like, when were you doing all of this prep? Was this all between when you found out you were going to be on the show and when it started? And if so, how much time was that?
We had 5 weeks. We had 5 weeks notice. But
that's good.
As soon as we were on, when our video went viral, our proposal video went viral, we got called by the Rachel Ray show to go on Rachel Ray. Right. That's where we met Phil Kogan, and he was like, "Oh my God, and we thought we were going to be on the race right there." And he gave us a honeymoon, which is great. But after that, I was like, "It's time to step it in high gear. They're going to call us. There's no way they're not going to call us to at least audition."
Yeah.
So that's when we started working out. That's when we started watching the seasons again. That's when we started doing that stuff.
Nice.
And then like a week and a half later, we got a call from The Amazing Race saying, "Hey, we want to bring you out for auditions. You're not on the show. You have to audition just like everybody else. You're going to have to go through a rigorous process. You're going to have to stay in a hotel for a week by yourselves and blah, blah, blah." So we did that, which here's a little story. Diana, the first day we got there, they lock you into a room, right? And then they bring you in front of like producers and stuff. And Lynn Spielman, who is the casting director for years on The Amazing Race and Survivor, she made Diana cry in her first interview. Like, she got in there and Diana like froze up for a second. They were asking questions, and I'm like, I'm used to it because I'm in the media, so I firing out answers. And she looks at Diana. She goes, "Are you just gonna sit there and let him talk the whole time? Because if you are, I will take him and put him on Survivor, and you could just go home." And Diana was like, tears coming down. And like when we left that day, for that first day, she's like, I'm sorry, I blew you. I know it's a dream." She was like crying. I'm like, "Diana, there's no way they're sending us home day one. And look at that. There's no way you could do worse than you just did." You literally just broke down and cried in front of her. And from that time, she was more free. She was more loose. And I was like, "Diana, there's nothing that you could do here that's ever going to disappoint me. Just be yourself. You're the sweetest. You're the sweetest person." I'm an asshole. I'm sorry. I don't know if you guys heard. You balance me out. She's supposed to be my balance. And that's exactly what she was. And that's what she was on the race. Like, I'm up here. She pulls me down. That's why a lot of people are mad at us when we bicker, because she gives it to me just as much as I give it to her. They just didn't highlight that. They highlighted me, which is totally fine, because I don't want anybody to dislike Diana. I'm okay with people.
I feel like the preparation obviously was key. All of the, stuff that you learned before the race was key in how well you did. But I also think that balance is really important that you were just talking about. And I'm curious, I mean, Sarah, can we get into what he thinks of these new teams? Because I'm curious what teams you kind of have your eye on in terms of that balance and the preparation and all of that stuff.
All right, so my top 3, I'll go from 3 to 1. My third place team is actually the Volleyball brothers, which are Riley and Madison. They're 31-29. Normally, guy teams are strong, but they usually don't balance each other out that well. But with beach volleyball players, it's a 2-person sport. It's a sport where you have to have 100% trust in your partner. You have to communicate non-verbally. You have to just kind of know what the other person's doing and thinking. And I think that really, really bodes well on The Amazing Race. So if you can understand like your partner's strengths and weaknesses, and you don't have to bicker, you kind of know what you guys are thinking and what you expect of each other. I think their athleticism, the teamwork is going to really drive them to go far in the Amazing Race. It's really big. And they're brothers. One of them speaks Italian. One of them has a little Spanish. That usually helps.
Oh, nice.
Second place team for me is the new green team. The new green team of Leo and Alana.
No, not a second place green team. Come on.
Yes, they're going to be a second place green team, in my opinion. I think they are an incredible balance. You look at them and you see nerds, right? You see the glasses. You see like they're really smart. They went to really good schools. Like they do have these great jobs. But if you saw the pictures that they were released on the Amazing Race when they had their shirts off, they are in amazing shape. And when I talked to them, they did CrossFit. So they are physically fit, they're mentally fit. They have this like jovial type of happy communication between themselves. Like I don't see them ever really getting mad or arguing too much. I think they're a good balance with each other. I think that they're going to go really far. They study the Amazing Race like nobody else. That when I spoke to them, here's a quote that I had from them when they asked, what do you hope to accomplish by running the Amazing Race? I hope to gain a deeper trust and better understanding of Leo. This is Alana, especially in high stress situations. I trust in myself. My trust in myself can falter, and I want to see how much I can rely on him. We're great compliments to each other, great partners, and I want to test that. And that's exactly how Diana was before the race. Like she knew she was strong. She knew she had skills, but she didn't believe in herself as much. And then after that first leg, it faltered a little bit because of how we finished. But I took all of the blame. I'm like, I made that decision. I messed up. You were the solid one. And then the second leg, she believed in herself. The dancing task. We knew it was a dancing task. I was a professional dancer. Like she said, I want to do this because I like we have a lead. We're first place team. I want to do this. So I'm like, go for it. And she did it faster than anybody else. And there was 2 teams of professional dancers with Kristen, Tiffany, and Jen. And she did it better than both of the professional dancers. So after that, like her confidence was through the roof. And I think that's the same thing that's going to happen with them. And my first place team, maybe it's a little biased because I kind of met them the same time I met you, because James and Will are my team to win the race. James is a diehard super fan who used to host AfterBuzz TV, who did recap shows for the Amazing Race. I met him through there. I met him at a charity event in California, and I saw him and Will together. And again, it's a male team, but they have totally different skill sets. They are totally different skill sets. And the trust and love that they share in each other, and the drive. Like Will, I mean, James has wanted to be on this show since he was 12. That's more than me. Like he's wanted to do this. Like, so he's more of a super fan than I was. And the passion that he has, the drive that he has, the struggles he's had to go through in his life. I don't think that there's anything that could stop him. And Will is a perfect complement for him. Will has the skills that he doesn't. And Will totally believes in him and knows that this is his dream. And if he can help the love of his life's dream come true, he's going to do whatever he can. I don't see anything stopping them. Like, I think they're going to do very well, and they may break some records on this race. They are I think they're going to do really, really well. I believe in them a lot. So that's my top 3.
That's so exciting. Now, you said in your cast reveal video that the only spoiler you had was that Will and James were on. Is it because
they didn't say anything? No.
I don't want to.
It was somebody from Reality Fan Forum must have got the leak, and then somebody reached out to me and be like, "Did you see your friends? James is going to be on the show." And I'm like, "No, don't spoil it for me." I was so excited. I was like, "Yes!" I was like, so. A lot of people like reach out to me because they know that I'm a diehard fan of the race, and but I don't like spoilers. I don't want any spoilers. I want to do my recaps unspoiled. I want to be able to be the super fan. I want to be able to dissect it and see how much I know the race. Like that's fun for me. So spoiling the race has no fun.
Yeah, I agree. Obviously, David and I are the same. We don't want spoilers. We know they're out there.
Yeah.
when it comes to the Amazing Race and a little bit of Survivor as well. And like, we just don't want it. We want to enjoy the race. We want to go on the race with you guys. Well, now your top 3 is very similar to mine. So
same.
I am proud of me.
Nice. Look at that. We're right here.
I was Will and James are like the team of my heart. But they didn't make my top 3. I replaced them with the Olympian hurdlers. I put them in my top 3 instead. So I have Leo and Alana, and I have the McKibben brothers, but I put the Olympian ladies because I don't know, I got a little thing for runners. 2 female runners. I forgot their names. But we know the famous ones.
Kelly and Levon. They're Olympic hurdlers.
Oh, well, no, Kelly and Levon, I know. But, like, what were the ones that we had, like, a few years ago? Well, no, it was probably
before your season, Justin?
Yeah, Jasmine and Danielle were 2, like, they ran, I think they did a decathlon. They did multiple events. They both broke, one broke the other one's right. One had the records in school. The other one came the next year, broke all the records. And they were good on our team, on our season. But I think for the same reason that they didn't do well is the same reason that Kelly and Levon won't do well, because their skill sets seem like they're exactly the same. Like they don't seem like they're that different at all. Like the training that they've had to go through their whole lives has been the same. The struggles that they've had their whole lives seem to be the same. Like they seem to be too similar. But again, you know, you never know with the Amazing Race because anybody can win. You know, we had Josh and Brent, and then we had Amy and Maya. We had people that nobody expected to win come through and win the race. You have to just make it to the final leg, and then anybody can win.
Yeah. My top 3 is a combination of both of yours. So I had Will and James in 3rd place. Now, I put them in 3rd because Will seems like he's got issues with taxis, and that's no bueno. So he's worried about the driver not taking them to the right place. He avoids taxis in New York City. He just takes the subway. And I'm like, you better get used to the taxi if you want to do well in the Amazing. I'm sure he did. Like, I'm sure he's just playing it up. But I'm putting them in 3rd for that reason. Then I've got the Olympic hurdlers, Kelly and Levon, in 2nd place. I know. There's something about that Olympic training, that competitive edge. Like, I hear what you're saying, Justin, that we had a team of runners, but this is a different team. You know, these are not those people. So I'm putting them in 2nd. And then Leo and Alana are my winners because I think that combo of the CrossFit training and the smarts is really good. And I think their personalities really balance each other. He seems very like kind of more serious and I don't know, maybe a little leveler. And she seems like a bigger personality, fun. Like maybe she'll be like, okay, Leo, like relax. Like we need to remember to have fun during this. And I just think that they're going to balance each other out really well.
I may be slightly mistaken on the number, but forgive me. I think in the whole history of the Amazing Race, and they always have some sort of professional athletes on every season. I think professional athletes have only made the top 3 once or twice.
Oh man, maybe there's Extreme
from a couple of years ago.
Oh, right? Yeah.
And I think the hockey dudes, hockey bros, Anthony. I think if I'm not mistaken.
All right. Well, I'm gonna have to root for Kelly and Levon.
Players are not in my top.
Yeah.
Like they never do well. I'm sure they're entertaining, but like. Right, there's Leo and Alana.
Look at them; they smile every time you see them. They're smiling every time.
I know.
And then the green team,
and they're the green team, which we love. They have a great balance of like they kind of look like nerds, but I think that's
look
just distracting.
Look at the chest; you could see his chest bulging out. Look at her guns. She's not even flexing, and you could see the guns. Like the calves.
They put in the work.
Both of them got calf muscles. Like they put the work in.
Exactly.
For sure. Yep.
Here's the volleyball brothers that we were talking about. Here's Will and James.
There they are. James is 6'6". He's a big boy.
Yes.
I mean, Will. Sorry, Will.
Yeah, Will. He is a giant.
Sexy.
Yeah. And who was your other?
Justin, are you on WikiFeet? What is this WikiFeet? You got
last night. Don't even. Last night. That's just from last night.
Okay, thank you for not knowing though, because they were like roasting me for not knowing what WikiFeet is.
Is that like a real thing? WikiFeet?
It's like a database of people's feet on the internet. It's very strange.
Oh, we just found out that my feet are on it, so that's why they're.
Congratulations! Have you got people like reaching out to you and give you money for your feet? Because
I wish that's where it was headed.
Somebody did reach out to Diana after our season for that, and she was like,
"No way!"
God.
Yeah, she pictures of her feet. People wanted pictures of her feet, and they wanted a couple other things, but pictures of her feet. And she was like, "Would you be upset?" I'm like, "Hell no! Take pictures of your feet all you want."
Absolutely. How much will you pay me? You may have.
Exactly. I mean, it was $100. Somebody's like $100 for 3 pictures of your feet, and I'm like,
"I'd do it."
And she didn't do it because she was a teacher, and she was like, if that comes out, I'm like, what? It comes out. A picture of your foot comes out on the internet. Oh my gosh! Like,
yeah.
Go step on a watermelon, step on a cake, whatever they want you to do. Like, come on, that could be a living.
Right? I bet there's a whole Twitch channel devoted to like what you can put your feet in.
There's your new Twitch channel, Sarah. Sarah's Feet. That's the name of your channel. And you
get ready, you guys.
On cam the whole time.
Yeah, because there's that like put your like bread or something on your face. Like putting stuff on your face is a thing. Now I feel like let's take it to the next step. Let's put it on our feet.
Do it
on our feet.
Get ready, you guys.
Do it. I'm gonna Google Wiki Feet after this and see if I can get my toes up on those.
Yeah.
I want to see where I rate as an Amazing Racer's feet. I want the best feet.
Sarah has 16 photos of her feet on that website. She didn't submit them. It's just like people go out and find pictures of feet and they put them. It's wild.
Wow.
I'm more proud of my comment where someone said sigh with exclamation points. I mean,
is that like a good sigh or a negative? Like,
it seemed like it was a good sigh because it has exclamation points.
Oh, exclamation. Gotcha.
Yeah.
As a, her feet.
Here, if anybody wants pictures,
anyway.
There you go.
There we go. Someone
probably got to buff the bottom a little.
Start Justin's page.
Is Justin on Wiki Feet, y'all?
Size 11, and I got monkey toes. I can pick things up with my toes.
Me too.
I have a friend who can pop a bottle of champagne with her toes. I should tell her to get
on. She can make a living.
Yeah.
See, this is what we're gonna do on my Twitch channel. This is it. We're gonna pop champagne.
There you go.
Yeah, I feel like I should get extra bonus points because I can like pick stuff up with my toes. Yeah.
Have you guys ever
very handy?
You ever auditioned for the race? You guys
seem like you'd be great.
We did this last. Was it for this season or the one after it, Sarah?
For 33. That ended up.
Justin is not on Wiki Feet. I just.
Oh
Thanks.
no!
Thanks, Seth.
Thank you for checking, though, Seth. That's great. I feel like we've auditioned a couple times, David. I probably did it without you knowing. I think I've submitted for us. I've also submitted with my sister. Like this is the show I definitely want to go on.
Do it. It took James 9 times. He submitted 9 times with 9 different partners.
That's insane.
I know. James is inspiration. And we will keep applying because no one has called us yet.
Yeah. Here's a fun fact too for what was it, season 31? That was just like Amazing Race versus Big Brother versus
Survivor.
Right. We got called for that. We got accepted. We were like stoked. We were gonna do it. 3 days later, Diana found out she's pregnant, and I'm like, well, maybe you could still do the race while you're pregnant. We're still early in pregnancy. Like she was like,
Justin, no.
I'm like, babe, it's $1 million. Like, do you think anybody could beat us? Do you think anybody could beat us? It's $1 million.
And imagine the bragging rights if she won while pregnant,
Oh my God.
Another fun fact on our season, the Shaqs, she got pregnant on our season. So she was technically pregnant running the race.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
The doctors.
Yeah. Right. I mean, honestly, those first few months though, you could be really sick and you don't want to be running around. You just want to sleep. From what
I get it. I was just so excited to get the call.
I know.
Like I'd be an all-star, like a super fan. I get to be an all-star.
Yes.
Well, okay, because I definitely after that season expected you guys to be first in line for an all-star season from a casting standpoint. But now that you've got a second kid on the way, do you see that happening for you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because of the delay, they already have the next cast. So by the time we have the baby in February, this season will be over. They won't even start the next season. So if they want to do another season,
it's going to be a while before they get back to being able to shoot seasons. So
and will they do another all-star season this close? I don't think so.
Right. It'll probably be a while.
I just hope that this season, because it's got a great time slot, it's going to be in front of so many eyes that it gets the the credit it deserves, because CBS is, Amazing Race is like the redheaded stepchild of CBS.
I know. I don't understand how it has become that.
It has something to do with ownership. Like like Bertram and Elise own so much of it that the Amazing Race only pushes. I mean, CBS only pushes it a certain amount. I don't know, something to do with that.
Right.
Like Mark
because CBS wants the stuff they own.
Yeah, they promote it and I don't know. And now that they bought MTV and Viacom, you're going to see a lot of people going over to the Challenge and shows like that. So you'll see a lot of crossover.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Now, I want to know, because this cast of 32 had to wait 2 years.
2 years.
They had to keep it a secret. They went on the race, and it's just now airing. Justin, how do you do that? How is this a thing?
The only and this is, I give them so much credit. They had a group chat or a group chat text message and a group on Facebook, and they have bonded so much over these last 2 years because they're the only people that they can talk to.
Yeah, right.
About it. The people who won $1 million still haven't been able to get paid. So like, imagine winning $1 million and you can't tell anybody, you can't do anything about it, and and it's gonna, you don't get paid for another 3 months. They're still not gonna get paid. But it's
my gosh,
we were lucky. I mean, we had a live start, so people, as soon as the race started, we were able to tell everybody. I mean, everybody knew because it was a live start.
Oh, really?
Yes, we did a live start at Venice Beach, so it was promoted everywhere.
Cool.
So people came down to see the live start. There was a lot of amazing racers there. So we were one of like 3 seasons, because of season 30 was a live start as well that ever had a live start.
Yeah.
So we were able to tell people, right? We didn't have to wait till it aired because people knew.
Right.
Oh, interesting. So I was gonna ask, like, how hard is it though? So at least you got to tell, but you still have to watch the show without revealing where you.
That's the best. For us, that was the best part. Our family wanted to know. Both of our families were like, "Tell us, well, come on, we have to know." I'm like, "No, you don't. The best thing in the world for you is to not know." And after the season was over, they were like, it was so much more enjoyable because they didn't know.
Yeah.
Obviously once we started winning, like they both, my family, her family were both like so confident. Oh my God, I can't believe you guys won. They were always trying to get it out of us. Like, it's like, we know you guys won. You guys are doing so good. How could you lose? I'm like, in the back of my head, I'm like, Jesus. But it's so fun to watch their reactions every single week, especially that leg when we finished in third and got the 55-minute penalty, and the cheerleaders were right behind us. And I don't know if you guys know that, like, the cheerleaders taxi, we watched, like, we were waiting there like this, and like all the cameras were sitting down, and like the cameraman was sitting down. And then we had like 15 minutes left, and they were like, and like cameramen start getting up. I'm like, oh God, we just lost. They're setting up. They're setting up for them right now. They're coming right now. We got 15 minutes. They're not going to set up in the sun 15 minutes early. And then you see the cheerleaders taxi go right past, and it took them to the end of the thing, and the cheerleaders were like, they jumped out of the taxi and had to run all the way back, and by the time they got there, it was like 5 minutes too late. Like,
oh man,
I felt so bad for Krista.
Yeah,
I mean,
but I'm sure good for you guys.
Yeah. Does second place get any prize? Yes. All right, $1 million for first place.
Yes.
And nothing.
25,000 for second.
Oh, you get 25K? I didn't know that.
That's something.
Yeah. One's life changing. One helps you pay off some debt.
Yeah,
right.
One is like, thank you for this money, thank you. And
that's it. Third place get anything?
Yeah.
Third place gets 10,000.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
And then it's like 6,000, 5, 4,
sure.
3, 2,
it trickles down.
Like yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So just so you guys know, everybody that's on Big Brother this season got 35,000 just for showing up. So
I think 40.
Or 40,000 just for showing up. There you go. And
yeah.
And on Survivor, just for showing up to the live event that one day, you get $10,000. So like,
wow, everybody
gets way more than the Amazing Race. And everybody's like, "Oh my God, you guys won enough like prizes to last a lifetime, like because you won 6 legs." I'm like, "Well, 7 legs. 2 of those legs we didn't get anything, and then the other legs were we have to pay taxes on those legs. So every trip that we won cost us $3,000.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
In taxes,
so your 25K that you got for being second just like paid all your taxes.
Yeah, half of it goes straight to taxes because they take literally half of your money. So we got like 13,000, and then we got 3 trips. That was $9,000 in taxes, and then we had 3,000 left over that we used on those trips. So it was like,
oh my God.
I'm not complaining, but I just want people to understand, like when they say you win a trip, like when you win a car, most of the people who've ever won cars on The Amazing Race don't take it because you have to pay the taxes on those cars.
Right,
right. You can't take the cash value. So you take the trip? No, otherwise we would have. Like our Hawaii trip, they had a $35,000. We had to call and say, like, can you give us like a different room? Give us different things. We can't even pay that's $12,000 in taxes just to go to Hawaii. Like I could take a trip around the world for $12,000.
Right. Yeah. Like you could get to Hawaii for less than 12,000. My gosh.
No, I won a car on a game show once, and I was like young, so I was like, "Give me that car!" I like took it, but you pay the sales tax when you get the car, which really isn't that big of a deal compared to then paying income tax on the value of that car. Like they consider the car income, and it's like,
and you add that to your job, whatever you got paid from your job, and then we were in the tax bracket, and now we're like, oh my God, what is this tax bracket? Holy cow, what is that?
Yeah, right.
What David meant to say was he won a car on Let's Make a Deal dressed like a banana. Is that what you meant to say?
No, I was dressed like a nerd. I was dressed like a nerd in true Nerdtainment fashion. No, our friend Tim won a car on Let's Make a Deal dressed as a banana.
Oh, okay. All right.
Jelly time.
Dang it. I've been telling everyone that you were dressed like a banana. Good thing we cleared that up. Just
yes. Okay. No, I was on brand for Nerdtainment, Sarah. Come on.
Yay. Now I remember that. Nerdtainment. Got it. All right. So these poor people have been holding it in for 2 years, and they finally get to watch it with us. They are going to new places this season.
Yeah.
We've got
Trinidad and Tobago first time. I think Kazakhstan's the first time as well. I may be mistaken, but I think Kazakhstan's the first time as well. Yeah. And they only released a couple other locations that I know about. Because again, I don't like spoilers. I mean, France, they go there all the time. Brazil, they go there all the time.
Right.
I think Germany, they're going to as well, which they've been to before.
Yes. So excited about new places, and also something that's kind of back is the yield. Tell us how you feel about the yield, Jess.
Do you prefer the U-turn to the yield?
Yeah. There's no strategy. Like, okay, you get yield, you sit there and you watch a sand tick down, and then you go, okay, cool.
Yeah.
How fun is that one for the viewer? Not fun at all. And like the team, okay, you're gonna delay me for what? A half hour, 15 minutes, whatever it is. Like, if somebody even had the chance to yield us, I wouldn't have even been scared. Like a U-turn, I'd be more afraid of because you never know how long it's gonna take. Like on our season, the Texas boys, that was one of the longest U-turn things that you ever had to do. That washing thing that they had to do was so long. Whereas other seasons they had, eat a thing of ice cream. Okay, literally take a minute or two to eat ice cream, or the Texas boys take a half hour to do another task. Like there's a big difference. I was hoping that head to head would be back and they would do it like they did on Canadian version, not like they've done it on the American version, which is not well.
Yeah, the U-turn is fun just because, like you're saying, the number of variables that are at play there. Like you could, the yield, it's that set amount of time that you're waiting. The U-turn could take you forever, or you could race through it, so it really does depend on a lot of different things. And I think that is what makes the U-turn so compelling. But I think they're trying this like back to basics approach, as Phil has put it, for this season, which I guess means bringing back old twists.
I like the single U-turn. The double U-turn stinks because like a lot of people have overcome a double U-turn. Only one team has overcome a single U-turn, which was Chris and Logan on our season. And, we had 3 U-turn boards. And if anybody got to any one of those boards before us, we would have been U-turned. That's 100% guarantee. And the other teams would have locked up the other spot if they could have, because they all had that plan on the plane from Brazil. So the first leg, Tanner and Josh said, anybody that U-turns the green team, I'll give you the second express pass. And that's why the cheerleaders U-turned us in Africa, even after we were already ahead of them, because they thought that they would get the
I feel like there is something for the racer when you get yielded and you have to just sit there and do nothing. At least if you go to a U-turn, you're doing something, you're doing a challenge. But to sit there in a race to like be told to stop and do nothing, I have to imagine it drives you absolutely crazy. And like that's really the only upside I see, is that a team could like lose their mind.
Well, yeah, I mean, I when we were waiting on the dock in Macau for a 55-minute penalty, it's pretty similar. Like I said, can I just jump in the water? Can I go swimming? Because I can't just stand here for 55 minutes in the sun, dripping with sweat, just waiting to be eliminated. Like I want to go swimming. Can I get in the boat and bang the drum with them? They were like, no. So I was like, I'm just gonna have to sit here. And Diana was she was such a rock, like keeping me balanced and keeping me like, you never know what's gonna happen, Justin. There's a chance. There's never gonna know what's gonna happen. I'm like, it's 55 minutes. And she was there before you. She was at that task doing it twice before you got there. There's no way that she's gonna still be there for 55 minutes doing it. Like Krista was so good. Like Krista and Tiffany were such a good team. There's no way I expected them to last 55 minutes at that task.
Yeah, right.
But you know, there's a reason that the yield was last seen in season 11. It's been the U-turn. So it is interesting that they're going back to it. I agree with both of you that there's more strategy with the U-turn. I'm just hoping that if someone is yielded, they lose their mind and I get to see like a tantrum or something.
Yeah, some kind of meltdown, some kind of payoff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Justin, how many of these teams do you know at this point? I mean, I know the cast just got announced a few weeks ago, but are they already like running in the Amazing Race circles and you're meeting all of them? Or
I don't know. Maybe because people know my passion for the race and I do the recap, but I get reached out to a lot by racers and some racers that shouldn't be reaching out to me. Like there's people who were who went to casting and were like, you know, reaching out to me like, what can we do? We're about to get cast on the race. Like they're gonna bring. I'm like, just be. You know, I give them the generic advice. Just be yourself. Be the best version of yourself. Don't try to lie. Don't try to fake. Don't try to be something you're not. They will see it and they will eat you alive for it. And they'll probably just eliminate you when they see the fakeness. Just be yourself is the best thing that I can tell people. But yeah, I mean, I did the recap, and then after my recap, I have a Twitch show. And I moved everybody over to Twitch, and we played this game called Among Us. So we had 10 people, 6 people from the current cast, and then a couple people from the different seasons. We were all playing like an All Amazing Race edition of it. So I got to hang out with them on like a Facebook room where there's like video chat and whatever. And this cast is tighter than any cast that I've ever talked to. And I think it's the 2 years that they had to bond. I mean, even if people like each other, kind of, you know, made up.
Yeah, because you're like you say, they're the only people that they can talk to about it. So it's almost like they become a support group for each other, you know, like nobody we're all traumatized by the fact that we ran this race and we can't tell anybody about it. So let's all help each other through it.
I mean, I can't imagine.
Yeah, nobody can relate. Nobody can truly understand what the race is like. It's 21 days. And the biggest thing that people cannot prepare for, no matter how much you do, like me, like I prepared as much as I could. It's the adrenaline. The adrenaline is something you can't fake. The adrenaline is something that comes when you're under pressure. The adrenaline is something that you can't prepare for. And the way that the adrenaline affects people, like you are just amped and you're running at full speed, doing as fast as you can, as much as you can, as often as you can. And as soon as you cross that finish line, you don't understand the fatigue that hits you. It's mental fatigue, it's physical fatigue. And that is like the results of the adrenaline just flushing through your body. And your body's like, listen, we pushed you on overdrive, shut down. And that's why like those can keep on racing legs, like those legs are so brutal. It's so brutal because you cross that finish line and then boom, you get that excitement, that adrenaline flows down, and then you know he delays it so long before he tells you to keep on racing. So you're like, you know, you're celebrating whatever, first place, we got that, and celebrating. No prize, and we got to keep on racing.
Oh no!
And then you know, for us, we had like a two-hour lead on everybody else in Paris, and then we get to another country, and then it's like, oh. Take a tag, and the next tag team's 15 minutes behind you, no matter how big of a lead you have. And that's like
Yeah, this past season, I felt like they were always catching up. No one ever got to like live in their league. I
do remember being frustrated by that. It was like They would arrive, with a great disparity, and then the next morning it was like, oh, you're all 5 minutes apart, or you're all leaving on the same plane to Africa or whatever it is. It's like, well, okay.
Yeah, well, I understand it. I mean, as a racer, you hate it, because we would have won by 3 days if they didn't have legs. There was just sometimes we got so far ahead that it was just ridiculous. But if you go back and watch the older seasons, the Guidos were literally 28 hours behind the other teams.
Right, you gotta catch it up every once in a while, every few.
Yeah,
legs.
You have to.
I want it mixed up.
For viewers, it makes more sense, but as a racer, it's so disheartening. It's like, you fight so hard to get a lead, and they just take it away.
Yeah.
So, what are you excited about? Obviously,
the season.
I love the season. The
season is, just to have it back is oh my God, to have it on a great time slot, a great day of the week. It's in Survivor's time slot. It's the best time slot that they have. My season was on a Friday, literally the worst time slot you could ever have in television. Fridays where shows go to die. That's literally, we used to be on Sunday. Sunday was great. Sunday was one of the best days to be on television. And, now Wednesday, people are so used to this reality TV show on Wednesdays, and it's a great time slot. I'm excited for that. I'm excited to watch people that I consider my friends. And FYI, I do consider you guys friends. I wouldn't have invited you guys to the finale if I didn't like you, if I didn't consider you friends. There was a lot of people who wanted to come, but I love your energy, and I love your passion for what you do as broadcasters. You guys were great, and it's no surprise that you guys are so successful. And
thanks.
I'm anything I could do to help support you, I will.
I'll hear him. Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited. I'm really excited to see the teams deal with it. I'm excited to see the diversity of this cast. Is one of the most diverse casts in the history of The Amazing Race. Every color of the rainbow represented.
I know.
Anywhere from 20-something-year-olds to 60-year-olds. There's every dynamic, father, son, husband, wife, best friends, brothers, sisters. There's such a great diversity in this cast. I don't think if people find a reason to dislike this cast or dislike whatever, they're just haters. It's the people we just want regular people. You can't be regular and get through the casting process.
No.
Yeah, right.
Somebody.
Right.
So you're just a regular Joe, you get pushed to the side. You have to have something about you that's spectacular or amazing, or something that separates you from regular people. Because if you watch regular people, and when they did cast regular people in the beginning, and they're boring, they suck.
Yeah.
They're not good at the race. They're just regular people.
You need characters for sure.
For FYI, there's never been one season of all regular people ever. The Cowboys, everybody loves the Cowboys. Well, they're professional athletes who are at the top of their game. Just because they're bull riders and you don't know that. And they're both almost millionaires. They have cattle ranches, but they're just regular people. We love them.
Right.
Riders. Another one of the the most famous teams. They're professional athletes. They're the best at what they do. Stop it.
Yes. Oh, true. I will say, when you invited us to the finale party for season 27, David and I did not know what was going on. We were just yes, let's go to this party. We didn't know, obviously, who won. And we're okay, we're here. We're watching the episode. And then, slowly are it seems like one of these teams was basically throwing the party. And we slowly realized that Justin and Diana were not flaunting their new wealth one of
or our families. Their whole families were there. Everything was Kelsey and Joe. When you go there, you can kind of understand it. Technically, when you see wherever the finale party is, the location, that's usually where the winners are from.
Interesting.
If that's a spoiler, if anybody wants to really get spoiled, but
good to know.
What are you gonna do? They're great people, and if anybody was gonna win, I'm glad it was them. The only team that we had an alliance with, and no, Joey was not a puppet master in any way, shape, or form. For anybody thinking he did that one, that was the only thing that he said that irked me. Puppet master, literally, you weren't controlling it.
Yeah,
no.
He's a great dude though, and they were right there. They hold the record for most consecutive second places as well. So they're a great team. If we weren't on that team on that season, they would have dominated that season. They would have been the green team. They would have dominated that season if it wasn't us. So kudos to them for like persevering through all that. Like,
yeah,
they're you know, they're literally living like the fantasy life, right? You know, after that they got the house, they both got promotions, they both got the new jobs, like they had their baby, like, you know, come on, if Ken and Barbie, it's literally Ken and Barbie. When we first saw them at the starting line, we're like, oh, there's the Ken and Barbie team, and they're living in a Ken and Barbie dream world, a dream house in Malibu, like, you know, and I'm so happy for them. It's like, for real, I'm happy that they get to do that. I just want another chance. You give me a chance, I'm going to live my dream. Like, nobody can stop us. You could put the 12 best teams to ever run the race, and if they look down the line and they see us, everybody's going to be scared of us.
Who are the other teams? Who do you want to compete with? Who do you want to play?
I want to play against the best. I want to play against the best of the best. I want to play against, you know, the Eric and Jeremys. I want to play against the Dave and Rachels. I want to play against everybody who holds every record. I want everybody. I don't want, because some people have saying like, oh, you had a weak cast. That was the only reason you dominate. I'm like, you put me on any season.
No.
Trolls, haters. I mean,
there you go.
The biggest, see, when this season started, before the season started, obviously, I reached out to the whole cast. I made a group message, and I'm like, here's what I learned from my time. The people who hate, the people who are trolls, they're going to speak so loud. You're going to think that that's everybody. That's how everybody feels. Because the hate always yells. The people who love you, they're going to whisper their love to you. Focus on the love. Don't focus on the hate. Like every message that hated on me, I responded to. Like I was trolling everything. Like I downloaded every podcast. I have every one of your podcasts. I have downloaded everything. Anytime somebody talked about the green team, I have it. I still have it. I have screenshots. I have all of that stuff. Like I can go back and catch receipts. If somebody's like, oh, I loved you. I'm like, yeah, here's your message. I still have it right here. Like, so my thing to them was like, listen, focus on the good. There is so much more good than bad. Like I still get messages to this day. Like literally, like today, I get messages. There's people all over the world see this. It broadcasts at different times all over the world. And people like, I love the way you guys run the race. I love the way you guys run the race. You know, whatever. Like, focus on the love. Don't focus on the hate. You know, that's the biggest bit of advice. I mean, I went through a whole list of things to expect, but that's the biggest thing. Like, the internet can just be, you know, don't go to Reddit. Reddit, like, before the season, Reddit, I was the biggest. Everybody loved us on Reddit. Oh my God, a big fan's finally gonna get to be on the race. And then afterwards, oh my God, you know, Justin's one slap away from being abusive. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, oh my God, there's no way in the world I would ever lay a hand on Diana. Like, no, she stabbed me with a knife, and I wouldn't do anything to her. Like, you don't understand the dynamic. Like, she's from Philly. I'm from New York. Like, if I say something, she responds. Like, she gives it just as much as I give it. Trust me. She is not a wallflower. She will fight you in a minute. Like, you know, verbally. She's never been in a fight.
Yeah, right. Yeah. No, that's always good to remember, is like the hate is just so loud. And
it's loud. Oh my God. It's so, because they want to be heard.
Yeah. So what is your schedule? We got a premiere tomorrow. Tell everybody where they can find you and when you're recapping. And
oh, thank you. Well, you can find me at Justin Classic One on any social media. It's right there. And we do the races recap Sundays, 7 p.m. Eastern. You can go racesrecap.com. That'll just take you to our YouTube page. We do it on YouTube live every week. This Sunday for the premiere episode, we're going to have season 26 winner Laura Pearson is going to be with us recapping the first episode, and then every episode after that we're going to have somebody from season 32 on with us talking about the race and getting. We do it from a super fan's perspective. Like, we pick up on the little things that a lot of shows just overlook because, you know, they have 30 minutes to do the show, or they have they pick up on the things that most people pick up on. We are the only show with all 4 people on the show going to be have been on the Amazing Race this season. I'm doing it with Maya, who obviously won season 25, which is one of the best seasons of Amazing Race ever. And we have Joey Cavino, who is another runner-up, like myself. So we have 3 people who have finished the race, who have studied the race, who've been on the race, including a winner. And every week we have an Amazing Racer on. So we recap the shows with Amazing Racer eyes. So we pick up on the little things and show you and tell you why this sucked, or this was great, or why this team did well. You know, people don't understand. Like, oh, thank you, Mark. Oh, Mark Peters, that's my boy. Yeah. Yeah, Mark's a great fan. I mean, another one, Apple Slipper is a great. He's he or she, I don't even know. They do the best summaries on Reddit of our recap.
Nice.
Like, absolutely incredible. The fan base of Amazing Race is great. It may not be as big as Survivor. It may not be as big as Big Brother. With Big Brother's most toxic fans in the world, by the way.
Yeah, that's true.
You guys recap, so you guys know.
We do, yeah.
And the season is one of the worst ever. I can't believe they called this season an all-star season.
I know. Yeah.
It's debatable.
Well, the fans are letting everybody know that it's not an all-star season.
Yeah, like when you have an alliance before you even get into the house, and then you carry that alliance through the whole game. Oh, it's so boring. Like, it's the most predictable season in the history of the show, and all the great characters got eliminated early. It's like, come on.
God, we should have had Justin on to recap Big Brother with us.
Anytime you want.
Basically it. That was it. You did it.
Amazing Race, Survivor, Big Brother. Like, I've watched those every. I mean, this is the first year I ever applied for the Survivor. Well, second year I applied for Survivor. I did it once back because I didn't think Amazing Race was going to do another All Star. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to apply for Survivor.
Yes,
why not? Yes, I would love that.
Get on Big Brother.
I don't want to be in Big Brother. I don't want to deal with the fan base.
I don't want to deal with that house for 3 months. I mean, how
I hear you.
stressful is that show?
Yeah. If I had somebody like Josh on my season banging pots and pans in my face, I'm getting kicked off that season because he's getting right to the kick. If I ever do get on Big Brother, I'm be the prankster. I am going to prank everybody in the house. They're gonna hate me. I'm gonna set up all these little, the pillow above the door, the water, the damn saran wrap on the toilet seat. I'll do all that, all of the classic pranks. That would be me.
I would love to see you on Survivor. That would be
incredible.
Fun.
I'd have a lot of fun on Survivor. I'd totally be Tony. I'd be Tony. I'd win it.
You would, yes.
Yeah.
I believe it. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me. I love you guys.
Catching up. It was so good to see you and talk to you. We are super excited about this season.
Yeah.
Kind of like you said.
Anytime you want. Anytime if you want to talk about it, bring me on. I'm here.
We'll have you back for sure.
And I gotta have you on our show.
Yes, please.
I think I told you guys that already. I wanted to have you on, and I never reached out and had you, but I definitely want to have you guys on.
Oh, we'd love to. Absolutely.
I'm super excited about this cast. I don't care where they go. It's all going to be exciting. And so everyone, thank you so much for joining us live in the chat. We appreciate having you guys here. If you're joining us later, sorry, go ahead, David.
Sorry, I was just going to pick it up. If you're joining us later, make sure you leave us a comment and let us know what you think about our top threes. They're not different. They're not that different, but they're a little different. And just let everybody know that I'm right and Justin and Sarah are.
Okay, that's one way to look at it.
All three of us are going to be wrong. It's going to be like 3 totally teams.
It's true. You're right. Yeah.
That's more real.
Put them on Patreon, these people, because I do a show on Twitch where people pay you to watch the show. Like, you guys get all this entertainment for free here on YouTube. Go to Patreon, give them $1 or $2. I don't know what they got. You know what I mean? Come on, you spend on a cup of coffee every day. How much of coffee you spend every day? They're worth a cup of coffee, aren't they? Come on.
It is just $1. Thank you, Justin, for that plug. We appreciate that. Tomorrow is the premiere, and David and I will be live right after the premiere episode to go through the whole thing. So we will see you all then. Okay, bye.